Hey guys, it's Steven. Got a Bytes chart update for you here. We left off on the 24th, and it's been about 6 days now. And since then, as you can see, we came down and tested the first support for the week here at a $1.70, and it was just a quick wick. Um, I think it had to do with the fact that there was just no liquidity support here. So we kind of had this low liquidity move down, and that was easily bought up. It doesn't take much money to come and move the price when there's not much liquidity, and that's basically what happened. So not really too much opportunity to buy there. So what could have been done is maybe having a Chromatica limit order or liquidity pool that would basically absorb that sell pressure, and then it could be taken out that way. That's one way to accumulate. But since we touched that number there, we did have a nice move towards the resistance for the week. So a nice volatile move for the week where we went from $1.70 all the way up to $3. So pretty nice move, maybe like 70% there. And we finished the week at about this $2.50 range, which is about the same for the central pivot for this week. So taking the highs, the lows, and the close, I was able to extrapolate this week's pivot chart. And the first support that we have is at $1.80. We have the central pivot at $2.40, and we have the first resistance at $3.10. And what we have here is we had some support, and we moved higher. So overall, looking pretty good. This is also has to do with the overall crypto market starting to move higher over the last couple of days. So that's definitely helping. And when you look at, where these buys are coming from, I do want to check in on the overall holders and supply. And what we've seen over the past 11 days here, as the amount of holders of the Bytes tokens has actually gone down. So what that is telling me is that these are just people from within the community accumulating the tokens. And the ones who are selling are just selling to the ones who are buying. So we still aren't bringing outside investment into the Bytes token yet. So just gonna keep an eye on that. And moving on to the Bytes to Ethereum ratio. Yeah, we left off on the 24th here, and we did move lower. This number here, this 0.001, that is a number that I was watching, to possibly buy. I wasn't able to scoop up anything here, but that ended up being a pretty relatively good support and a good place to buy. And these purple boxes here are my liquidity ranges. So this lower one in particular was very aggressive. I put a significant amount of tokens in here, and that leaves me with a significant amount of impermanent loss, but I'm okay with that, and I'll explain why in a second. But just to finish up on the chart here, we moved higher above this central pivot last week and touched this the first support. So this is just basically telling me there's some demand for the token within the community, and my reasoning is I think people are starting to realize that the Bytes 2.0 is going to be very bullish for the token economics. And I think people realize like there really is going to be some utility for the Bytes token. There's going to be some use cases for the token. So maybe less people selling and less people claiming. Looking at the supply changes, it's not really going up too much. My theory is that it's not even worth claiming for some of these people when the price of Bytes are so low. They're not going to be really claiming those tokens as often if they're not worth as much. So that could be what we're seeing here, and it's just taking longer for these Bytes to be accumulated and sold. So we'll just keep an eye on that. And another thing I did want to kind of touch up on it and why there's so much sell pressure. If you look at just for instance, if you take over the last 11 days, we have 23,000 new Bytes tokens into circulation here. 23,900 times we're at $2.80. that's $66,000 worth of tokens that were claimed into existence. Now, if you extrapolate that into what the liquidity pool is right now, there's only about 3 to 4 until we get back down to this to my first purple here. So it'll only take 3 or 4 ETH worth of sell pressure to get back down to here. You know, and that's just net, right? There's obviously going to be buying and selling, but it only costs, you know, 3 to 4 ETH to get that net sell pressure to move the price lower. So my point is that, you know, so many bytes are being generated that there's just not enough ETH support to support that selling, and that's just what we've been seeing. So we are starting to see the buy pressure come in, which is fine, but I just wanted to point that out, that it doesn't take much. You know, 4 ETH at $1,800 is 7,200, right? So only $7,200 worth of sells to move the price lower. So, you know, that's what I'm looking at here, and that's why I'm okay with leaving this in here, you know, for my liquidity pool position, and you have this support here at 0.001. So I am looking for that as a possibility if we don't get any catalyst. You know, maybe the overall markets turn bearish again. So who knows, right? So I'm okay with that, with impermanent loss and taking my chances there. So yeah, so right now the price is just in between my LP positions here. Yeah, and we'll see what happens. So just to check in on that, the overall value has gone up to about what I thought it would be. But let's just check in and really do a dive in. And this was my largest impermanent loss. This is the lower range at this 0.0012. And, you know, to break this down a bit, the total P&L is at 201, but the total fees I've earned is at 452. So how is it possible that I lost money? Well, they're calculating the impermanent loss. So what would happen is if the price goes down back to my position here, my P&L would, I mean, my APR would go up significantly because of it's just how it's calculated. So for me, I'm fine with having impermanent loss, because to me, this is kind of just like a hedge on my position. If the price stays high and it keeps going up, well, I'm making good money. And if it comes back down, well, that's fine. I can accumulate more. So that's the way I look at it. And then also from a strategy perspective, you know, what if I need to just cash out and I don't want to get left behind. You know, I want to put my assets, like I have, you know, $7,000 that I can turn this ETH back into bytes if I needed to. You know, what do I do? Well, because of all the fees I've made, my total P&L is still at 578. So even taking into all of these impermanent losses, I'm still above what would have happened if I just held bytes and if I didn't pool bytes. So I'm still in a pretty good position. So what I could always do is just close all my positions and just buy everything back, right? So that I don't get left behind. So that is just something to think of there. So just to finish up on these, this one's a little bit closer to my number here. We can move back down in here and have this impermanent loss start to come back down. Total fees here, not bad. And then this is the one that's just above this range here, which is starting to get some action again. And this is doing a better APR because it's below my price. And yeah, I mean, it's just fine. I've actually had this for longer too. This one's been open for 27.5 days. So that's why I'm able to accumulate more fees here. So that's basically it. I'll keep you guys updated if anything changes on that, but I'm just going to be happy to let those keep going here. So to quickly move to the blood token, not looking pretty. This is the blood versus Ethereum ratio, and not looking good. Like there's just no buy pressure. I guess, you know, the way I look at it is there's just no reason to buy the blood token, right? There's no utility. You're either earning it and then cashing it in for your gifts and stuff. So when should you buy? when am I looking to buy? I thought it was a good value a couple weeks ago, but the more I'm thinking about it here, this could just keep going lower and lower until there's an actual demand for the token. So we really haven't seen any large speculation, because that's all you're really doing is there's no utility. You're just speculating that this token will be more valuable in the future. And we did have a nice large buy come in here. This is a significant amount of ETH. Right around this when we were redeeming our week 8 materials here. And not really a capital efficient way to accumulate. Like if this was me, like why not make a liquidity position and just accumulate that way, or make a Chromatica limit buy order and accumulate that way, and you don't have to worry about slippage. The tokens will come right to you. So for me, when that time does come, and I feel like it's time to start accumulating, I'm going to probably accumulate that way with a liquidity pool, and not have to worry about slippage. So I did just create a pivot chart just to kind of start this, so that maybe there are going to be some opportunities. So you got this first support here at 23.6 and this other one at 203 here. So we'll keep an eye on that. And we got couple weeks here, maybe a month or so, until this game really starts to roll here. And if you haven't checked all this out, I'm sure most of you has. I mean, this is just the beta, and the actual graphics are going to be a lot better. But I mean, just so many cool games and mini games. And I mean, this is going to be, I think it's going to be a very popular game. We're talking about this could be millions of people playing this game. So there's definitely going to be opportunity. It's just when do you want to take that risk and invest in the token, or do you want to just invest in the NFT? So, all right. Just to finish up, we're going to finish up with the overall market. So really bullish setup that we've seen over the past couple weeks here. And this really started off with, I guess, the bond market's really starting to stabilize over here. So we saw some fear in the markets. And what happened was that fear, the money went back into bonds, which is bullish overall, because when we start to see the bond market crash and the stock market crash, that's when we're in trouble. So when you see money coming into the bonds and the interest rate stabilizing under 3%, that's a very bullish thing. And it's set up for to take some risk and to take some opportunities to trade. And back here on Tuesday, it really set up very nicely, where you had this previous low here from the week before, and you had this low here, where if you took the long here, you only had this downside here and you had this upside. So I was asked, why take risks and trade? Why not just wait for the fall? Well, there's just certain patterns, and there's certain timing where, like on Friday, we had the overall stock market have a very bullish day on Friday, and we had Bitcoin and Ethereum just basically flat. And for me, it's like, well, if we have this breakout in the tech sector, and to me, this looks like a completely bullish reversal for the long-term chart too. So you have this breakout, you have all this momentum, and you have Bitcoin and Ethereum flat. Well, to me, that was a very easy opportunity. And as a trader, you just put in the buy. You had this kind of move lower, you put in the buy, and you put the stop loss right here, and then limited downside and maximum upside. So not necessarily a good time to buy now that we broke above this 29,700. This is the number I've been using. Like, I'm bearish below and I'm bullish above. So we're just going to let my positions play out here, and if it comes back down, that's fine. Ethereum has been lagging Bitcoin, so the Bitcoin to Ethereum ratio has gone down. So similar situation where we had here at 29.7 is kind of happening here with Ethereum. So maybe something will develop where it'll be another easy trade. You could have just used this number as a magnet to trade towards, but maybe we'll have some moves below again and have another trading opportunity there. But for now, I'm just gonna let everything play out. So All right, I'm gonna finish the video here. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll catch you later.